Hello, good morning. I'm filming this in the morning. Of course, you can see the sun is already risen. The thing is, I sat a little bit with my family. It's been really great. It's been amazing. So for this week's video, what I want you to do is cute little pins so you can pin your hair. And we're going to talk about something that is very, very important, I feel. And I hope that everything I'm gonna mention right now, it's gonna be from my own experience. So hopefully it's gonna help you as much as it made me realize and how much it opened my eyes to see things in a different way. My hair is not herring today. We're doing our best, okay? It is what it is. I don't take the internet that seriously, so I don't really... Because I can't say I can't put some effort into my looks, especially on the internet, because one of my goals this year is to put more effort into my look and self-respect and changing my mindset and all that stuff. And I also want to work on my physical appearance. So this is cute. This is not so cute, and I need to get some tools to get ready, but Rome was not built in one day. So for now, just close our eyes, kind of, until we're able to get where we want. Yeah? Grab some coffee, because we're going to talk about a very heavy thing, but still, get yourself also some cream. I'm using the one almond blossom and oat milk from Victoria's Secret. Grab some pens, markers, sticky notes. So for this week's video, I would like to talk about something that all of us do, even we don't like to admit it, but we still do it, and that is self-sabotage. And no, this is not one of these videos where I'm going to shame you or blame you or tell you just to try harder, because if it was that simple, I don't think you would be here. So to be able to start the first step in this, we need to understand what it means to have self-sabotage. It's when you want something. It could be peace, it could be growth, discipline, healing, success, but somehow you're always the one standing in your way. You start, then you stop. You plan, but then you delay. You know exactly what you should do, but then you don't do it. And then what's the worst part about the whole thing is that you blame yourself for it. But here's the truth that no one says. Self-sabotage is not laziness. It's not weakness. And it's most definitely not because you don't care. It's basically fear. A part of you is always scared that what better means and what would cost you to be better. Sometimes it's fear of failure, because failing after trying your hardest hurts the most, and self-doubt would then start creeping in. Sometimes it's fear of success, because the way I see it, success means expectations, consistency, and then suddenly all eyes are on you. And sometimes, this is a big one, you've lived in survival mode for so long that peace feels very unfamiliar. So what our body does is that it pulls us back to what is safe and what it knows, even if it hurts on the long run. So instead of saying I'm scared, we would say, for an example, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired. I'm not in the right headspace right now. And honestly, it does sound logical, but if we look deep down, we would understand it's avoidance. And listen, I'm not here trying to be righteous over all of you, because everything I mentioned above is basically something I went through. I'll tell you what, one thing that actually helped me so much is change the question that is in my head. So instead of saying what's wrong with me, I would say, what am I avoiding right now and why? Because every time you sabotage yourself, there would always be something underneath it. It could be fear, an old identity you're trying to get rid of, old trauma, or even the belief that you do not deserve better, even if you never say it out loud. And I know that standing out is very scary, but I truly believe this. If you truly cannot handle becoming better, I don't think God would put this desire in your heart. That pulling towards growth and being better, it's not just something random. It's actually a calling. And yes, I do agree that standing alone is scary and actually terrifying. But please don't abandon this part of yourself, because if you do, you're gonna be just another side personality in a group that everybody looks the same in. Don't put in your head that you should disappear to be acceptable. You were meant to stand out, to grow, even if that makes you walk alone for a while. And we need to talk about social media, because it's like a silent killer that it creeps in quietly in your life, and most self-sabotage starts from there. We scroll through fast lives, fast success, fast glow-ups. We watch people chase their lives, their dreams, build habits, change their bodies, routines, lives. And without realizing it, we start confusing watching with doing. Scrolling gives your brain a false sense of satisfaction, like you're a part of this progress that you're watching, when in reality you're just watching someone live the life that you keep postponing. You know, I know it's gonna be hard to say it or make you realize it, but comparison slowly starts to replace motivation. You start to measure your beginning to someone else's highlight, your past against their outcome, your quiet results into their loud results. And unfortunately, instead of feeling inspired, we'll start to feel smaller, more behind, more disconnected from yourself. This is where self-sabotage starts sneaking in, because watching feels much safer than trying. Scrolling feels easier than failing. And staying inspired from a screen feels less scary than scaring disappointment in real life. So you tell yourself, I will start when I feel ready. I'll do it later. I'm just gonna watch and get inspired for now. But you need to understand that just watching turns into standing still. And the longer you stay in this place, you will start losing your own voice. Your goals get quieter, your desire gets buried. And it kills me, because I went through that too. Your energy gets spent on watching someone else's live their life instead of building your own. And please don't misunderstand, because this isn't about deleting social media. It's about noticing when it starts replacing your courage, because your life isn't meant to be consumed. It's meant to be lived. And yes, loving God, praying, manifesting, journaling, all of these things matter. But none of it replaces action. Healing still requires movement, and faith still requires steps. And here's something nobody warns you about. When you start standing up for yourself and growing and changing the way you think and the way you live, your brain will fight back. Not because growth is bad, but because change feels unsafe to a system that learned to survive first. That's why motivation doesn't work, and discipline feels very heavy. And that's why waiting to feel ready keeps you stuck. So let's talk about regaining real control without outer or inner pressure or influence. No massive routines. Not waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Just start with baby steps. If you are self-sabotaging yourself, then you shouldn't ask for more discipline. This is gonna add more pressure on you. You need to ask for less resistance from your brain towards you. So instead of saying, I have a huge list I need to do today, take 5 minutes. For an example, you wanna start working out, put on workout clothes. You wanna start journaling, you don't have to write a whole page. You can start with one sentence. Put all of your thoughts, all of your mind into it. Just make it something that comes out of your brain, out of your heart. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just make it true for you. You want to start cleaning your whole room? Start with making your bed. Trust me, these little things really do add up. Action doesn't follow motivation. Motivation follows action. Keep it small and stay focused on your life. When you go too fast, and you go too strong and hard on yourself, your attention naturally shifts outwards. Basically going back to social media, because it's easier, to other people's progress, to outer validations. And without you even realizing it, you start teaching your brain to trust everybody else's pace, to trust everybody else's voice, and their own direction and choices instead of trusting your own. So let's start here. I'm ready to continue. Step 1, set a goal that you truly want. You have to sit with yourself. This is where the part of your pens and your markers come in handy. You need to sit, brainstorm things that you've been really wanting to do, but you keep postponing. Try to connect with your inner child, because most of the answers I'm searching for, I find them there. For example, it could be hydration, maybe walking, maybe reading a book. It can literally be anything. Step 2, make it tiny. For the hydration, I'll drink 1 cup. For walking, I'll step for 2 minutes outside. For reading, I will read it doesn't have to be a chapter, but I'll read 1 page a day. These small things won't trigger resistance, and your brain won't fight you. And consistency will quietly take you where you want to be. And step 3, which isn't really a step, but girl, just do it and shock everybody. That's how you rebuild your self-trust. Because the girl that wants to get there is still inside you. You just need to let her out. Instead of imprisoning her with all of the videos that you watch about how they live their life, their own way of living. What about you? What about your way of living? Don't separate yourself from your own reality. And please don't attack yourself when you mess up. Shame feeds on self-sabotage, while gentleness actually interrupts it. Talk to yourself like you are talking to somebody that you love so much and is struggling. Not to somebody that you're trying to punish into healing. And if faith is part of your life, remember this. God never asks for perfection. He is asking for movement. Even if it's slow, even if you stumble, even if you show up tired, you are giving grace not because you do nothing, but because you are trying and you are continuing. And you're doing all that without hating yourself. So if you are in a season where you feel stuck, numb, or I don't know, behind, this is not your failure story. You won't beat it by pushing harder. You will beat it by lowering the pressure on you. Let this be your awareness moment. And awareness is where change starts. You don't need to have like a dramatic change where your whole life changes. And you definitely don't need to be like a different person overnight. You just need to take like one step forward into a life that you truly want. And I know you want it because you keep imagining it in your head. By doing things imperfectly, by showing up messy, by taking the smallest, tiniest steps, even when you don't feel ready. And here's the kicker. The moment you stop waiting to become ready, self-sabotage starts losing its power. So if this is you, if you feel stuck, numb, unmotivated, or like watching life from the sidelines, please know this. You are not broken, behind, or even failing. You are just afraid. And fear doesn't mean that you should stop. It means that you need to slow down, take a moment, communicate with yourself, be honest about it, all the while keep going anyway. So if this video spoke to you in any way, you're not alone. And if you have any thoughts or anything you think I might have missed, please share it down in the comments below. I would love to read what you're thinking. Sometimes saying it out loud is the first step in stopping it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.